Hello, and welcome to the Unscripted Me, Season 2, The Future Leaders. Today, we have with us a 16-year-old tech whiz who is rewriting the rules, dropping out of the school to fuel his passion for AI, robotics, and game development. His impressive credentials include a certification from IIT Kanpur and MIT. Let's dive into his remarkable journey and uncover the secret behind his success. And today, he is working as a CTO at Urav Advanced Learning System Private Limited. So he is none other than the AI Tech Whiz of India, Udayshankar. Hello, Uday. Welcome to the Unscripted Week.
Yes, thank you. Thank you very much for having me here. Thank you for the introduction.
Yeah. So before we begin, I just want to congratulate for whatever you have done at the age of 16. So before we moving ahead, can you just tell me about yourself and journey?
Okay, so I think this all started in around 2018 when I was still in school, and it was the summer vacation. So my mom told me that I have to either go for swimming classes or robotics classes during
Okay.
the summer vacation. So I chose robotics, and that's how I got into hardware development and a bit more software. And then right after I finished the course, around like the end of 2019, early 2020, the pandemic started. And so during the pandemic, the schools closed down and I had a lot of free time. So I started learning Python online from Professor Hayat.
Okay.
He's the assistant professor at Bellary Institute, and so there I got more into software development and learned more concepts about it from him. And after that, I went into Unity, which is a game engine. So and I learned that completely from YouTube. And so around 2020, at the same time, my parents started the company for me, Urav Advanced Learning Systems Private Limited,
Okay.
so that I would not be restricted by my age when I wanted to do certain things. So, for example, when I started Unity development, Geo, I think everyone knows
Yeah.
Geo. So they're working on a device called GeoGlass. One of the products in the line, in their line of XR products, has already released, and maybe you've heard of it already. The
Okay.
GeoDive. Have you heard of it?
Yes, right?
GeoDive.
Yes, 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 yes.
Yeah. So uh, it's a sister product to that, GeoGlass.
Yeah.
So they were looking for developers for apps
Okay.
on these platforms. So because of my company, I was able to uh, make
Yeah.
apps
Okay.
for the both the GeoGlass and the GeoDive.
Wow.
Yeah, so right now, all of the apps are live on the Play Store, and one of them is live for GeoDive.
Okay.
So that's where I got into like a professional project, like a contract based project for the first time with these, I believe, four apps
Okay.
for the GeoGlass and GeoDive. And then after that, um, I got into VR development because these were VR products. So I got more into VR development because my dad bought me a Meta Quest 2.
Okay.
I worked with Meta for making now, I believe, 5 apps on their
Wow.
platform. And we also got into the Horizon Start program. At that time, it was called the Oculus Start program,
Okay.
which is their own community of developers, where you can submit an idea, and if they think it's good, they let you join, and you can network with these other developers and additional resources that you get. So now we are getting early revenue from some of the apps
Okay.
on the MetaQuest. And also throughout all this, I got into AI. So the thing was, so this was around 2022, I think.
Okay.
One day I'd call my grandma, and she lives a bit far away from from here. So she didn't pick it up because she didn't pick up the call because she was busy at the time. So I thought, well, now we have all these AIs, we have advanced text to speech algorithms, speech to text
Yes.
algorithms, and translation algorithms. So why not make a replica of my grandma for me to talk to, even if she's not available? So that became Hi Friend.
Okay.
So that's an app on the Google Play Store and iOS App Store. And the idea is through voice, completely through voice, you can talk to a virtual avatar
Okay.
whom you can create from the picture of a real person. And so you can talk to them in your own language. So
Wow.
from that, yeah. So from that also rose Study Buddy, which
Okay.
is Study Buddy AI Assistant, which is an AI powered study assistant with like image upload and like a code interpreter where the AI can make graphs and many things like that. So basically an expanded version of the same concept.
Okay.
So I can even show you that actually. I
Yeah.
have it on my phone. So and I can ask it in Gujarati.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I've set the settings to camera.
Right. We can see.
Yeah. So but I think the focus is yeah.
Yeah.
So I've
Languages.
set
English
the
and answer language is Gujarati.
yeah, so I've set the question language to English and the answer language to Gujarati.
Wow.
So I can ask it, tell me who is the Chief Minister of Gujarat. So it'll ask me to confirm if that is what I said,
Okay.
and I'll say confirm. And let me just keep it close to my mic so you can hear it.
25 મે 2025ના રોજ ગુજરાતના મુખ્યમંત્રી ભૂપેન્દ્ર પટેલ છે.
Great.
Yeah, and it also gives you the answer in text form.
Wow.
I don't know if you can see that clearly, but yeah, there you go.
Yeah. Now I can see perfectly fine.
Yeah, and you can even share it with your friends.
Okay.
So yeah, on WhatsApp, or you can even save it to your notes.
Okay.
So that's the basic concept of the app. It also has image generation, so
Okay.
it can create artistic images. So, and from that we also made HiFriend MR,
Okay.
which is basically HiFriend but for the MetaQuest 3 device, right?
Wow.
So yeah, it's a great headset. I highly recommend it. I mean, very advanced piece of hardware.
Okay.
And so it's basically the same thing, but it's there in your real life room. It can walk around, it can sit on your couch and do many more things. So that's basically the my journey as of now. And of course, in the midst of all this, I've also written a few papers.
Sure.
I've got a few patents, and I wrote the PCAP exam, which is a proctored exam
Okay.
for Python. So that it stands for Python Certified Associate in Programming. Then, as you mentioned previously, I've also got the IIT Kanpur certificate on
Certification, yeah.
AI, and I also have one from MIT. So yeah.
That's it. So now, when we say a school dropout,
Yes.
and then we say that you got so much degree certifications and everything. So now, how you have achieved that?
So first of all, most of these don't require. So it's usually either 10th or 12th pass or professional experience.
Okay.
So since, as in the criteria for writing these exams, so since I am already in a company, I can say I have this professional experience,
Okay.
and that makes me eligible for these certifications. And another thing is, I'm now in NIOS, which is the National Institute for Open Schooling.
Okay.
It's like CBSE. It's a government agency,
Okay.
uh, which is like an alternative where you can just write the exam for 10th and 12th
Okay.
directly, and you can do it whenever you want, and you don't have to go to a school as such. So it's a great institution, and from there I've completed my 10th standard, and I'm going to write my 12th standard either this year or next year.
Okay. So now, when we say that you have achieved certification as well, and despite of being a school dropout, now how hard it was for you to go for the studies when you are working?
So, thanks to NEOS of how their syllabus works, I basically just spent 1 month
Okay.
on studying for the 10th exam, and I was able to pass. So, yeah, I set aside 1 month for that, around 1 month for that. So I took a break from company work, not entirely, but and I was able to write the exam.
So because when you are studying and when you are earning, there are two different kind of things when you are working. But when you are doing both, it's hard to manage that. Even you have to work as well. You have your projects on hand, your deadlines on hand, and on the same time you have to study as well. So how you have managed those times?
Well, I guess that's just good time management, I guess. As I said, I set aside around 1 month
Yeah, because
for.
there are a lot of students like you who wants to do homeschooling, concept of
Mhm,
homeschooling, and while doing that, they also wants to do some work like you are doing. So what
mhm.
you say to them how to manage those times?
Well, first of all, you can try to create a time schedule, and or second of all, you could also use my app Study Buddy to help you in
Oh,
managing everything,
wow.
um, and things like that. Like as in, it helps you study. You can upload the textbook, and
Hmm?
you can even have it translated to your language, um, so that can accelerate your study, as in your learning process a lot. So you get more time to spend on work or doing what you like.
Okay. Now in India, there are not that much people or that many people who talk about AI. Still AI is kind of a taboo. So now, what basically AI is?
So, I mean, AI is a very broad subject.
Okay.
So, I think right now, I think we can narrow it a bit down to LLMs, since
Okay.
that is what is getting popular right now. So, LLMs are just large language models.
Right.
Basically, like it's like a small human. As in, for example, recently there was actually a study from Meta and the university. I don't remember the exact name of the university, but they said that they saw parallels in the way a human child learns language and the way a machine learning model learns language.
Okay.
So if you can imagine it that way, it's basically just a human which has access to the entire knowledge base
Okay.
that we have created, or at least with models like ChatGPT or specifically
Right.
GPT-4o and such, knowledge that we have in the English domain.
So basically, when few days back, I was in one of the school, and I was amazed that it was just the first year or second year syllabus, standard syllabus I was looking at, and there was a question that what is a chat GPT? And when we compare to our schools, till sixth standard, seventh standard, the education of chat GPT is not there. The education related to AI is not there. So, what do you think? How it is important for this generation to learn AI right now?
So, well, I'm not very familiar with how the syllabus for CBSE is right
Yeah.
now, but some of my friends have been saying that it is an optional subject. So I don't know what is the quality of the material they have, how up to date it is, but yes, I do believe it is important to like maybe it's not as important to teach how AI works
Okay.
because that is very complicated, as in it's mostly high level math. And uh, so the most important thing should be how to use AI, right? So how to use tools like ChatGPT, how to use tools like Gemini, and all of these are available for free. So I think that is very important.
So now, when we are talking about chat GPT and AI and Meta and everything, now, can you just share some of your projects which you have already shared while you are introducing yourself, but bit of in detail so people can know that what basically you are doing?
So what we are doing in our apps is we're basically using these AIs like
Okay.
ChatGPT and Gemini. So Gemini, if you're not familiar with Gemini, it is
Google.
Google's answer to ChatGPT. And so we are using these models and basically tuning them for a specific use case.
Okay.
And that's basically the thing. So the plain model is a generalist model, right? But what most people don't know is that if you just word your questions a little differently to the AI, you can get much more specialized answers.
Wow.
Yeah. So that is called prompting. Like
Okay.
you may have heard prompt engineering.
Right.
Yeah. So that is very important. So you can have these models which are generalists and basically take their expert parts of their training information and extract that basically, right?
Okay. So basically, you
Yeah.
want to say that it depends on how we ask rather than what we ask.
Yes, yes.
So how to find that how?
Well, I mean, uh, it's kind of difficult to explain because, like, so if you get into the more technical part, there's something called a system prompt
Okay.
in the AI for most of these AIs, which is basically the end all be all instruction,
Okay.
right? So if you say there, like sometimes all that you need is you are an expert biologist or you are an expert in quantum computing,
Right.
and if you don't find this information, or if you do not have the latest information in your knowledge, search Google for that. So basically that is telling the AI every time you ask it, it is reminding the AI that you are a quantum computing expert or you are an expert in biology, and
Oh.
you should do this most of the time if the query is related to that.
So now, from expert to let's come to the students level. So how they can use this AI and Chat GPT and Gemini and everything for their day-to-day work? Because I've seen that now the increase in the use of this Chat GPTs and everything. So how good it is or how bad it is?
So, I mean, it's a good thing ultimately, I think, for everyone. And so, one common way you can use it is you can just upload your homework
Okay.
to ChatGPT, you can ask it to solve it,
Wow.
right? And some people may view it as a bad thing,
Yeah.
but what you get is the AI will also explain it to you, right? Or maybe ChatGPT won't do that, but for example, what we have done with Study Buddy is make it so that the AI will explain it while also providing a solution, or like basically push the student into finding the solution themselves.
Okay.
Because again, this is like a person.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this can act like their teacher, and it can again respond in their own language. And I think that's a big issue in India, because we have millions of languages,
Yes. Yes.
and but we teach everything in English. All the textbooks are in English.
Yeah.
So students may not understand that very easily. So with tools like this, it can help increase the understanding of the actual material in textbooks and
True.
such.
So now, from ChatGPT and AI, how you found interest in the game development?
So I found game development before AI.
Oh,
So
wow.
yeah, so uh, I mean, I was always interested in games and a little bit of science also. So, for example, one of the first paid game my dad bought for me is a game called Kerbal Space Program.
Okay.
So, in that, you have these little aliens and you build rockets for them
Okay.
in what is basically a model solar system, right? So
Oh,
like
right.
1 to 10 scale of the solar system,
Okay.
but with slightly different planets. So I got really interested in that. Then I learned that that game was made in Unity.
Okay.
So then I got interested in Unity, and then from there I made a few small games, which are on the Play Store, and that's how I got started.
So now, how hard it was for you? When someone is talking about gaming, a student, people will say gaming has no future. But right now, the gaming industry is one of the biggest industry of India. So now, how hard it was for you to convince your parents to develop a game, or it was easy?
Well, my parents are always on board with whatever I am interested in.
Wow.
So, and of course, gaming is a big industry, as you said, and indie games especially are right now growing a lot. And indie games are games made by independent studios. That is where the team is only one or two people maximum. So that is one interesting thing we are seeing right now, where big studios are releasing games that are becoming less popular. For example, maybe you've heard of the Assassin's Creed,
Yeah.
uh, the series of games. So that is made by a company called Ubisoft,
Okay.
and their sales for their games are decreasing for each new game. But the sales of independent games are increasing a lot. So, I think it's going to be a great big industry, and yeah.
So what do you see that? What is the future if suppose someone wants to be a game developer in India? Then what is the future you see of him?
So I think ga- games in India is a sort of special thing, right?
Yes,
As in,
yes,
it is
because
different
sorry
from.
to cut you in the middle, but the thing is that when you talk about the gaming, especially for India and the age group of 10 plus kids, and so when you talk about the games for them means that's PUBG or something like a COD or something like that only. So what is the difference now?
So I don't think that is a main difference, because games like PUBG and Call of Duty, as you mentioned, are also popular outside of India.
Yeah.
As in, for example, Call of Duty is one of the biggest gaming franchises. in regards to first-person multiplayer shooters. But the main thing in India which makes it special is we sort of skipped the PC gaming era, right?
Yeah.
So outside of India, you have so many people who have their own personal computers and they game on that. But here it's mobile games.
Yes.
Even here, I would say even consoles have not caught up that much.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that is a special thing about India where the gaming sphere is mostly casual gamers who on mobile phones.
Yeah.
So I don't know how the hardware part will go, and of course, the software, as in games,
Develop.
will depend on the hardware.
Yeah.
But right now, the focus is on mobile games. But recently, I saw a great game which was made in India and funded by Sony. So
Okay.
Sony has PlayStation's an accelerator program for India. So they're funding small game studios to make great games. So with all these initiatives, maybe something will change. But right now, what I see is casual games.
Yeah, because when we talk about the gamings in India and in outside of India, there are the professional number of games or professional gamers maybe get a lot of attention in outside of India. But when we say I'm a gamer is the profession, people will laugh at you.
Well, profession as in, I don't think gamer is a profession. As in, I assume you mean like content creators, right?
Maybe content creator, yes, I can say that. But the thing is that, now that's a profession called a gamer.
Esports.
Yeah, esports.
So I am not very much into the esports sphere.
Okay.
So I mean, from what I understand, it was the same in same everywhere else. As in, when it started, it was something that would be ridiculed about. But then slowly got more accepted, and then you have bigger competitions with bigger cash prices. That is probably the most important part of that to remove the stigmatization, the prices. So, yeah, I guess in some time it will probably go away, but again, with the casual nature of Indian gaming right now, I'm not sure.
How many games you have developed?
So games, I would say, so 4 + 4, 8, 9, 10, 10 to 12 games on all these platforms combined.
Wow. And it's under the name of?
As in, it's all published under our company, Urav Advanced Learning Systems.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
So now for the young listeners who are interested in tech, what advice would you give based on your experience?
Well, if you're really truly interested in something, just try it out. I mean, when you get some free time, try some coding or try using AI or just read an article on how AI works, something like that. So once you get more into it, once you learn more about something, you might you might get a new idea based on it, and you might from that get more into the subject and get a business idea. Maybe from that you can make money out of it, maybe. And who doesn't like money, right? So it all starts from actually getting into it, which is the most important part.
So now how do you approach to problem solving and innovation in your work?
So I think, well, problem solving is something you can learn, right? So programming is problem solving.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it doesn't matter what language you use, as long as you know the basics of problem solving.
Okay.
You'll get into it. And I think that was more a part of the process of learning programming. So yeah, I think it's very important where you learn it from.
Okay. So now when we are talking about your work, can you just let us know that what basically your company is doing?
So our company right now is doing software,
Okay.
and mostly in mobile and virtual reality, and mixed reality as they call it now,
Okay.
for the Meta Quest and for Android and iOS. We have also done some hardware things previously based on my robotics knowledge. We used to provide educational kits.
Okay.
We also teach. So I've taken a few courses on Python and Unity game development. In fact, I taught Python in my old school during their summer vacation.
Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, we are doing many things. We are also getting into clean tech right now
Okay.
with some projects, but mostly software development.
So why your company says advanced learning system?
So Urav is a source,
Okay.
right? So from this source uh, of knowledge, that is the internet and resources like that, we are learning the process of life, right? How to advance in life, how to innovate about technology, all of that. And so that's basically the name of the company,
Okay.
summed up.
Now I will read that you have also got so many awards. So can you just take us through that as well?
So, as in, like, could you elaborate on like
Yeah, you
specific
just
awards?
you got an award of by APJ Abdul Kalam sir or something like that.
That was
Young entrepreneur,
a yeah, for what was it?
young innovator awards.
Yeah. So that was for one of my ideas. Yes.
Oh, wow.
I don't remember the exact idea it was,
Okay.
but yeah. Another thing is Young Innovators Program by the Kerala government. It's a government program to reward young innovators and cultivate them. So the idea there was a indoor navigation app with real-time obstacle detection, right?
Okay.
So we call it Third Eye for All. It is out there on the Play Store. And we also made a paper out of that. And the best thing is a group of blind Android users,
Okay.
international group, found the paper and through the paper contacted me and took an interview of me on
Wow.
their podcast. And they said they were very grateful of this and this would be a great project for them. So we are continuing with the Kerala government on that, but you know, government things, so it takes time.
Okay.
Yeah.
So now, what are your goals for the future?
So I would like to continue what I like doing, what I love doing, that is technology, and hopefully improve the lives of others through my technology. And yeah, I think that's my main goal.
And is there any specific project or initiative you are working for?
So I think one of them I already told you, Third Eye for All. I think that's a great project. And another thing is through Hi and Study Buddy, provide a multilingual companion, right?
Hmm.
So the ultimate idea is that it is a lifelong companion that you have, a lifelong advisor, a lifelong teacher. It can be anything, a lifelong friend, anything, right? Because it's an AI, it's a template. You
Right.
can say it's a template for what you want and with how highly customizable it is. And I think that would be really helpful to a lot of people.
Recently, somewhere I've seen, I think in a movie as well. that something like that avatar was there, and that avatar, someone was doing fraud to that avatar. So how to now, does AI help to stop those kind of things, or it will promote it as well?
Well, just like with any technology, it will do both, right? For example, with computers, you have computer viruses, right? You have ransomware. But that doesn't stop us from saying that the computer is one of the greatest innovations of the 20th century, right? So you have both pros and cons of technology. For example, quantum computing. It is a great advancement
Right.
in computing, but then the people are saying now that it will break all encryption algorithms.
Yes.
So you have pros and cons of everything. So it can be used, of course, for fraud. Some people are already doing it. I heard that through deep fakes. I think everyone knows about deep fakes.
Yeah.
And voice cloning technology for extortion, things like that. But it can also be used, for example, in the Mahakumbh Mela, they used the AI to monitor the crowds, to predict if there would be stampedes, to find lost people.
Okay.
So these are things that AI can be used in, both
Pros
good
and
and
cons.
bad
Yeah.
purposes. Yeah.
Okay. So now, how do you see your work in AI, robotics, and game development? You know that you can say that this can impact society or industries even.
Yes, I mean, that is what I would like for it to do. And with things like Study Buddy, I hope it does happen. And ultimately, the main goal would be to create a custom model which should be the top in both Indian languages and other languages, and basically be the be all end all of all models, and be perfect for a lifelong companion.
Okay.
But with right now what we already have many users on the Meta Quest, and yeah, I think it's already impacting the lives of
People.
many people as we speak.
So now, when we talk about study buddy, it's kind of an ad tech, isn't it?
Could you repeat that?
It's study buddy is kind of an ad tech, education tech, and everything.
Yes, yes,
So
yes.
now, in India, I haven't seen so many ad techs. As I am from the
Mm.
education field only, I haven't seen so many ad techs. So why? What is the problem as an you know Indian developer you are facing to develop an ad tech company?
Well, I don't think I have the expertise or knowledge uh, enough to answer that. So
Okay.
I
So
think I'll
now,
pass it.
why you have selected the field of ad tech?
So because I was in education,
Okay.
and I found it very helpful, and I thought my friends would find it very helpful, and a lot of them said it did. They found it helpful. So that's how I got in with Study Buddy.
So now, how you propose study buddy to other people? Because when people will compare your study buddy to the teachers now.
So I mean, of course, it's not meant to replace teachers. It's meant to as an addition to that, right?
Okay.
So your teacher might explain things in the basic form, right? Uh, but Study Buddy can help you understand it in much more detail, because your teacher is a human being, right? They may not know everything,
Okay.
right? But the AI has access to the entire knowledge base
Right.
of humanity, nearly the entire knowledge base of humanity.
True.
And it has Google search and tools like that. So with that, it can help you expand on the basic knowledge given to you by your teacher, and expand it into the global knowledge that is there in its database.
So do you feel that the startup like your study buddy will revolutionize the education industry in future?
Yes, I think so. Like you can, I think you can see that already there are a few AI powered education adjacent apps already, and I think this will be a revolutionary thing, because again, this is in the end about helping people, right? And I think there are many people who will find this very useful.
So just out of curiosity, do you think that this kind of study buddy or chat GPT or AI can replace a teacher in future?
Well, yes, I think so. Because again, like, it's not really a competition, is it? Because it is something that has an entire knowledge base of humanity, nearly, versus a single person.
Yeah,
Now, the technique of teaching, yes, now that is the unique part that is there in a human. The specialized personality that each teacher has, right? But that can also lead, that is a pro and a con, because you can have good teachers and you can have bad teachers.
right,
So once AI reaches that stage where you cannot distinguish uh, an AI speech from a human speech, and you can extract that specific personality you want,
right.
which is what we are trying to do with Hi Friend MR as a companion. Once that happens, then that will be the true moment where AI can, replace. Now, this might be a controversial
No,
opinion. Yeah.
no. But now you are dealing with a lot of international developers and coders. So now, what do you feel that when you talk or when you deal with an Indian person, or when you talk or deal with an international coder or developer, what is the difference you are finding?
Well, I think I think maybe a lot of Indian developers get into like engineering and stuff just for the sake of getting into engineering,
Okay,
right? So that is a big problem because they're doing something they don't want to do, and this is also a problem in some other places, but it is prevalent here. So international developers do stuff because they like to do these things. Now, maybe they don't like the job they're in, but they
yeah.
like the basic concept of programming and such. So that could be a big difference, I think.
Okay, so now if you have given a chance that you can change something in Indian education system, say as a point of view of a developer who is working with international developers. So what is one thing you want to change?
I think like school as its own concept is flawed because it is you're spending a lot of time, right? So that is you go to school at 8 in the morning and you come back at 3 in the morning, right? So you're spending more than half of your day on school doing most of the times things you don't like. Maybe you have one or two subjects you like,
Right.
but then you have to learn 8 or 9 other subjects that you don't like. So that is the basic flaw of schooling. And I think with NEOS, the government has sort of solved that, but people aren't aware of it. So basically, like they have said it in their own booklets and such. You can do this while you're doing your work.
Okay.
So
So
one example they gave is a person having a family business. So their kid wants to do schooling, as in wants to know the basic things, but also wants to do their family business.
okay.
So in that case, you can do NEOS where you can choose your subjects, and you're only forced to take one language. That is a big thing, I think, for many people. You only have to do one language, and you can choose every subject you want to learn, and then you can just pass out and say you have the basic degree
Okay.
of secondary and senior secondary education while you're doing these things, while you're doing things you're passionate about. So
Okay.
that's the main advantage of NEOS, I think.
And is it recognized by all the institutes?
Yes, it is. Right now, it's even recognized for entrance exams like NEET and JEE.
Oh, wow.
The Supreme Court ruled that NEOS has to be recognized for these platforms. It's a government thing. It's just like CBSE, as in it's the same level of recognition as CBSE. So if you want to go into IIT, if you want to go to medical, anything, you can go through NEOS.
Okay, so now we've talked enough about your tech. Now, what do you enjoy doing outside of tech?
Well, I think these are all tech adjacent because I love gaming and I love virtual reality
Okay.
with my Quest 3 and oh yeah, I guess.
So, what kind of gaming you love?
Again, as I mentioned, I used to play a lot of Kerbal Space Program because it was science adjacent. Now, I've also been getting into a little bit of first person shooters, mostly single player.
Like
But then
Call
in
of Duty?
VR,
Like Call of Duty?
so it's called Doom Eternal.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm going through that right now. It's on. I've almost completed it. It's a very old series, as in it is one of the founding game series of gaming, right? Maybe, and also it has connections to VR because it was started by someone named John Carmack.
Yeah.
So maybe you've heard of id Software.
Yeah.
Yeah, so this is all coming from them. So id Software made Wolfenstein 3D, which was the foundational game for 3D games as a whole, nearly. And then John Carmack went on to join Oculus
Okay.
with um, with the founder of Oculus. I forgot his name, but Palmer Luckey, yes.
Yeah.
With Palmer Luckey, John Carmack joined Oculus, and they revived virtual reality, and then that was bought by Meta. And while John Carmack was still the CTO of
Yeah.
Oculus, now Reality Labs, a subsidiary of Meta, but now he has left. He's doing more AI things. But yeah, so this is basically it's from all of that. This is coming.
So now, while you are so much successful, you must match with the setbacks. Some
Well,
failures.
yes, I think the main setback for me would have been my age,
Okay.
right? Most of these companies require you to be 18 plus. But because I am doing this through my company, it's not a problem.
So now, there are some incidents when you want to develop something and you was not able to. Okay. Now, how you have handled those kind of situations? How you have handled failures?
Well, I think due to the situation I'm in, thankfully, I've not reached a point where I couldn't develop something other than because of my skill. But of course, there have been many cases where, for example, my apps haven't been as popular, some of my apps. So it's just trial and error, right? If one of your app fails, you learn from it, give up on it, as in like you start on your next project, and iteration basically on different projects. Basically, you don't have one basket for all of your eggs,
Yeah.
so you have different baskets with different eggs.
So before
So
we end, I just ask everyone one simple question. What do you mean, or how you define success?
success, that is a very subjective term.
Okay.
So I think as long as you are satisfied and as long as you have helped people and you are satisfied with your way of life, your stature, everything, that is to yourself successful. To others, it may not be success, but
Okay.
Yeah.
So now everyone, who is a businessman, everyone has their own idols. They look at someone and say, I want to be like him. Who is yours?
Well, I don't have a specific person like that, I think. It's just like you take the good parts of everyone who you know, like for example, Elon Musk, John Carmack, Palmer Luckey. You just take the good parts from all of them and then you get the ideal.
Okay.
So, and you can base it off of that. I think because basing it off of one person is bad.
Okay.
Because you may not truly know, right, who they are, right?
Right.
So you should not do that. So you can take the good aspects of someone, like for example, Elon Musk, he has had many successful businesses and he knows the right time to invest in something,
Yes.
right? Like SpaceX or Tesla, he knew the right time to get them. And or for example, for John Carmack, he knows the technology, right? And he saw an opportunity in Oculus and he took it. So you take the good aspects of all these people and you can be successful.
So where do you want to see yourself after 10 years?
So I would like to be successful in my terms, of course, and I would like my products to be used by everyone, ideally, with the AI renaissance that is in the process of coming, if it has not already. And yeah, I think AI will benefit everyone.
So what is your message to the listeners or to the watch who is watching this podcast who wants to be a developer, game developer or software, whatever it is?
Do it. That's it.
Oh,
Like, if you are interested in something, do it, right? Do what you like, not because someone has told you to do so, right? And I think if you follow that, you will find some success eventually. If not immediately, in some time.
okay. And what is the role of your parents?
Well, they fund me.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they encourage me, they teach me valuable lessons, and normal parent stuff, I guess.
Because right now in this era, the screen time is increasing, and oftenly because as I'm a parenting coach, a lot of parents are asking me that how to decrease this screen time. So, what you think? Screen time is necessary or not? And what is your screen time now?
Now, inherently, screen time is not a bad thing.
Okay,
It just depends on what you're doing, right?
right,
With that screen time. For example, if you just change the thing, right? Instead of screen time, you change it to reading time. Suddenly,
right.
that doesn't sound as bad, right? But it depends on what you're reading, right? Like a cartoon show actually called Gumball, The Amazing World of Gumball, had a great episode about this, where the Parent Teachers Association banned all games
Okay,
in their school. But then, so the children are saying, like, look, yes, you have banned games because you say they are violent and all that, but look at these books. Like, for example, one example was Romeo and Juliet.
yeah,
There are people getting poisoned. Or Hamlet, there are people getting killed.
great.
So, are you saying that these are not violent? So, it's just, parents should like know what their children are doing. Like, inherently, just not giving them screen time is not a good thing, I think. So it's just based on strategic restriction, right?
Yeah.
So yeah,
So
that's about.
before we end, the last question. Tell me one of your projects which you think can revolutionize in future.
So I think both Study Buddy and Hi Friend Mark can do this because Study Buddy is more basic because as in it's a mobile phone app and it's a study helper right now. But hi friend, it is an embodied agent, right? So it is a nearly equivalent to a real person being there, as in you can see them sitting on your couch. You can, the only thing you can't do is you can't feel them yet. But yes, so it gives you that true presence
Okay.
that one has, just like a real person. So, as a lifelong companion, I think that would be truly revolutionary, because then you are not restricted by the people around you, as in you are not restricted by if the people around you are good people or bad people. You have the ideal companion you want. So, do you view someone as good? You can bring them. You
Right.
take a picture of them, upload it, and you can bring them in virtual reality,
Okay.
and you can talk to them.
And how
You
to find your apps?
So my apps are on Google Play Store. All of these are free to download on the Google Play Store. Study Buddy gives you a free trial also.
Okay.
It's free to download and try. Now, Study Buddy and Hyphen MR, no, Hyphen are also on the iOS App Store, and Hyphen MR is available on the Meta Quest line of devices. That is the Meta Quest 2, Meta Quest Pro, Meta Quest 3 and 3S. So all you have to do is, for example, for Study Buddy, just search Study Buddy bar, as in that the straight line character, AI assistant, and you'll find it on the Play Store or App Store.
Okay. Thank you so much, Uday, for your time. I wish a lot of best of luck for you for the future, and how I hope to see you somewhere like Elon Musk of India.
Thank you so much, and thank you so much for having me on here and
Thank you so
giving me
much.
this
Have a nice time.
opportunity to be here. Yeah, thank
Have a
you.
nice time, Uday. Thank you so much. Bye.
Yeah, thank you. Bye.